Well, Bill, the businessman, is a Whitney Pier boy just like me, and he's a true entrepreneur. I've been doing actually business with Bill for some time through R&A Paper, supplies our properties, and of course, without Bill and Smitty's, I'd have to be eating breakfast at home.
Bill's contribution to the business community is one that is big but silent. Bill's a person that works behind the scenes for the most part. He has a few businesses in the Sydney area. They've all been very successful, and when Bill puts his mind to something, he does it, he gets it done.
He has a real interesting story in the sense that he was very young when he had me. My parents were 19 years old, and my sister came along 5 years later. They were 20, so they would have been 24. And he was working at the steel plant and having a decent life, but he wanted more, obviously. And so he left his job at the steel plant and took on a position with a company called Sandfax. He developed the territory and did so well that within a matter of years they made him a manager. They made him a manager of Nova Scotia. Then he became manager of the Maritimes. And then after that it was Ontario and the Maritimes. And then from there he became the national sales manager. He decided that he wanted to come home. And so what he did is he looked at home he was going to start his own business and or buy a business. And R&A Paper was this small little sort of mom and pop shop at the time. And he zeroed in on that, and he purchased it. And what he did is all the skills that he had developed by being employed by Sandfax, he took those skills and he used them to create R&A Paper into really a juggernaut within the province.
Well, Bill is a success story because he's driven, like a lot of Cape Bretoners. You know, we have adversity, and you have to choose whether or not you want to remain status quo or be driven, and somebody who wants to create employment in the area.
He's a good employer in Cape Breton. He's a good community man, and he's really a true entrepreneur. He's not afraid to take a risk, and he's done very well, and he's certainly a credit to this community.
The way he conducted himself and the way he did business was completely at opposite of those kinds of things that people think of a businessman like, right? He was much more into teamwork and collectivism and building community things than he was in terms of individual accolades and things of that nature.
Yeah, he doesn't need the spotlight. He does things very quietly, but he does things very effectively.
I learned from an early age that if you worked hard and did your best, you would do well in life.
Well, I think that future business leaders, it's important to have the drive and don't be on a clock. There was no clock with Bill. He did what he had to do, and when he finished his work, it didn't matter what time it was. The work would end and he'd start all over again the next day.
Congratulations. The Pier boys do pretty good, and the Pier girls.